Hey, how you doing?
Hello, hello, hello.
This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with R.J. Williams of Call Sign Orion. How's it going?
Good, good. Glad to be here as always.
Yeah, you were just here a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. I couldn't stay away.
Yeah, can't stay away. You can't quit.
Only you look different now.
Yeah, I, I was They're laying tar. I'm on a building. They're laying tar on the roof, and it's 100 degrees, so the tar is just like extra liquid. And we're working on a building. They pulled out all the air conditioning units. So now, and then they're putting in huge air handling units. So we have to put the wires up to it. So we have to drill through the ceiling, get the wires underneath. So as we drill the ceiling, tar started dripping down. And it got my, hair, my eyebrows, so I was just like, gotta shave it off. I don't know if you guys know that, but when they tarred and feathered people back in the old days, it was a punishment, man. Tar, it does not come out. So like literally people tarred and feathered, they had to be scrubbed. So luckily it was just like a little couple of drips, but what was I gonna do? Shave half my beard? You know what I mean? So it'll grow back. Plus it's just so hot. And like I said, this building has no air conditioning. So it's just beer was sticking to my face. It was a blessing in disguise. Last year I had the neck brace on at the exact same time. So that was a year, that crazy beard. So it'll grow back fast.
Yeah. Tar, tar's extreme. We used to keep Vikings out that way with like hot boiling tar and oil. And
yeah. Well, this was
teach the tax collectors a lesson with tar.
yeah. We should bring it back, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, the whole USAID thing might not have happened if we just didn't give up that American tradition.
Yeah, they tarred and feathered in the 13 colonies. I'm trying to think of the last instance of tar and feathered, but yeah, I'm sure the politicians got rid of it because, let's face it, we did it to politicians. We did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, judges, we got to start tarring and feathering judges. I get me talking about.
We're gonna get censored.
I never saw judges just with impunity, just like guy killed 16 people. What about? Like there's no. It really, like, we're a democracy, but like judges are like little kings.
Yeah,
there's got to be like malpractice insurance against judges. Okay, all right, you're letting him out, but if he commits crimes, you got to pay fines, or you got to, there's got to be a consequence to the judge.
I think we are seeing the balance of powers work like they're supposed to. Now we have a good executive, though. He's winning in the Supreme Court.
Judges to stop her, they're still doing it.
Yeah, they're a nuisance. Yeah, but all they can do is delay the inevitable. He'll get his way eventually.
I don't know. Just start boiling up the tar, ladies and gentlemen. Get a big witch's cauldron, some sticks, some fire. Big old wooden spoon. Just like
this is a gift from my department. It's a thermos that's a fire hydrant or a fire extinguisher, not hydrant. Hydrant's on the sidewalk.
Oh, it does that. Fun fact: you can see someone getting tarred and feathered in Hell on Wheels. Absolutely horrifying. Yep. Someone got tarred and feathered in 2020 at a cemetery. Yeah. I mean, I remember as a kid.
No way, 2020.
We would jokingly like tar and feather, and like we just imagine them like running around like a big chicken. I'm like, no, they were like burnt, and
oh yeah, that was intense. Like you'd probably have like 2nd or 3rd degree burns from that.
Yeah. Sup, amigos? How you doing? Yeah. How you doing?
So, they didn't have good burn care back then either. Your skin's coming off.
Crown Hill Cemetery, Indianapolis. Somebody got tarred and feathered. Did they deserve it?
I mean, honestly, like back then, a bad infection was like a death sentence too.
Yeah, we talk about privilege and all that stuff. Like I like reminding people that something like 7 out of the first 10 U.S. presidents died of diarrhea.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
imagine. It's intense.
And what was it? 1 out of 4 people, 1 out of 4 men in the year 1900 had a wound from the Civil War. That's something like we never talk about when they bring up reparations. It's like 1 out of 4 men had like if they survived the war, they were wounded, and something like one out of 10 women, or I forget if it's 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 10 women died during childbirth around the turn of the century. Like I said to my cousin, we always fight about communism versus capitalism, and I'm like, dude, in the 1930s, in America, the average person had a dirt floor.
Mm-hmm.
We're going on 100 years later, and the homeless are fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a skinny homeless person? I live in New York. The homeless people are begging as they're fat. They're, gross. So it's like, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad.
You're totally right. LA is no different.
How where you live? You live in LA?
That's where I escaped from. I escaped from LA on a big wave. No, I escaped from LA into the Rocky Mountains, which is a blue state in Colorado, but it's less blue. I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Something about what were we talking about before that just a second ago?
I don't know. I'm babbling.
I was going to add something. I don't remember what it was.
I'm babbling.
We're talking about. I can't remember.
So I don't know. You want to talk about comic books? You read the. You know what I just read? Frankenstein New World, but it's like attached to the Hellboy universe.
Okay.
Are you a fan of Hellboy?
Yeah, I haven't read the books. I like the movie enough. Like, it's not my favorite.
I like the movie, but I love the comics. I really do. And every time somebody who's like, "Oh, I saw the movie," I have to read the comics. They always say the same thing. That was phenomenal. Read them in order. I guess right now get the omnibuses. It's better than tracking down the comics.
Mm-hmm.
It's oversized on. But Frankenstein. It's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but he wakes up. It's no surprise that Hellboy, the world is destroyed. And it's like a whole, like the premise is like this is like the third rebirth of Earth. So it's like frog people and stuff. And I just love the world building in this. Like, it's Frankenstein wakes up. So like he would have been a mutant in human world, but now he wakes up and he's even a freak in this new world. And like, I don't know, the world is just so different and cool, and I don't know. I just dig the Hellboy. Anything Hellboy I like. So there is, new comics that I absolutely love. Do you read John Dexter's Dime Store Detective?
I saw the trailers for that.
Is so
that
good.
Still live or a storefront anywhere?
I just got number 5. If you talk to John Dexter,
in?
I'm sure he could point you how to get them. I think they're still live on Fund My Comic. But this is issue 5, and it's the closest thing to it is why can't I think of it? Is what's the name of that?
Look that up.
What's the name of that detective with True Detective season 1?
I like detective and I like noir.
And then throw in
my
Supernatural
thing review.
I'm
going to look it up on Fund My Comic right now.
At the risk of making you mad, RJ, I think John Dexter, I think he's the best writer in all of our circle of indie comics.
Really?
Yeah, I really like. I always play. Well, I didn't read your comic yet. I didn't read Call Sign Orion yet. So there's always hope. There's always hope. But I always try to play. I always try to play beat the writer, like try to figure out where they're going. No idea with this.
Noir, and that's hard to do.
Yes,
I read a lot of mystery, murder mystery, noir type of stuff. This is one of the first things like Mike Barrett and I talked about, because as you know, he has like an eclectic taste in music.
Yeah, I like talking to him about music.
So my grandfather was a jazz musician, and so I grew up around it. And like we had I think it was like the second time we met, I picked him up in my car, and I had like jazz in the car, and he's like, I think he was shocked that a guy my age would listen to that, and we just talked about that for like an hour. But the first time we met, we talked about Michael Conley's Harry Bosch series, because we're both big fans of that. So
yeah, he keeps telling me to watch the show.
It's really good. I can't find Dime Store Detective on Fund My Comic.
I know it was on Kickstarter.
Kickstarter?
I'm also speaking of noir and crime. Did you read this Dime Store Detective? There's a comic and this like little miniature novel.
Oh, it's a miniature novel.
Okay. Yeah, this is by what's his name? I can't think of his name. Doc Blaylock.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Damn Dirty Thing. Because like
Yeah,
you just
Damn
said
Dirty
Times
Thing.
Square
I
Depressed.
said the
Yeah,
wrong thing. I said
I did a
Damn.
review on Damn Dirty Thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
What did you? So I guess you liked it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
Do you do reviews of books that you don't like?
No, I haven't done any reviews for like a bigger creator. I try to like focus and uplift indies. So I wouldn't do that to like a small creator.
Right. Like if I did 2 negative reviews. One was a Marvel, and one was one of an indie guy. The indie guy I thought just had it coming, but I don't feel bad doing a bad review about Marvel. But like it ain't gonna happen. But let's pretend I don't like your comic. I don't want to do a bad review. You know what I mean? Like for one of us.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I don't suppose this will hurt your feelings, but I held off because you've seen my review of your book.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
And I appreciate your book more now. And like, because I admit I'm still relatively new to comics, and you know a ton more than I do. And I've actually learned a lot from just lurking on your channel, especially on Sundays.
Oh, cool.
And I appreciate the genre now and more of what you were going for in that book more than I did before, based on what I knew about like how to appreciate a comic book. So
yeah, like a few people like didn't get where I was coming from. Like I want to do like an homage to 80s comics, but at the same time it's not the 80s. So I can't just do like, flat out comics for 12-year-olds. So like, I do have Heroic Tales 3. If I do it the way I'm imagining it, it's gonna be pretty violent because that's the point. Heroic Tales 4 is gonna be like way sexed up because that's the point. But I still want to have like an 80s, like what I mean by 80s is the good guys are good. I'm tired of all the boys. The boys is the boys. That's fine. Even the Watchmen is too much for me now. Like I want, that's why I like the new Superman movie. Superman himself was good. A couple of other people around him weren't good. But as long as Superman was good, like the Patriarch is a good guy, but the main bad guy, like in the backup story, he does a horrible thing, but he's a bad guy. Bad guys can do horrible things.
Yeah.
So somebody gave me crap because of the horrible thing the bad guy did. You said it was going to be a 80s comic. I'm like, you never read 80s comics then. You never read.
Bad guys do bad things. Shocker.
The Punisher was running around killing, what they call snakeheads that were.
I have a few Mike Baron Punishers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say
it reads like an 80s action movie,
Right. Yeah. Oh, man. Watch an 80s action movie, man.
Like,
the guy opens up the door and there's just a topless woman putting on lipstick for no reason at all. You know what I mean? Like,
they knew who their audience was, right, and they weren't afraid to cater to them. And I think we're coming back.
Like, I didn't have I had an argument in the best sense of the word. You know what I mean? Like not like I hate you, like a good argument on Twitter yesterday where we were talking about the Superman movie. And I said, I really enjoyed the Superman movie. I said, because they remember that Superman is an IP for children. And he was just like, he showed me Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I was going to say, is this a Snyder bro?
Yeah. And he goes, you going to tell me this was made for children? I said, no, that wasn't made for children. That's why it failed.
Yeah.
Like it or not, the Batman movies, not Christopher Nolan. What is it? Christopher Nolan, whatever his name is. Nolan.
It's
Batman
Nolan, yeah.
movies, those weren't made for kids. Batman ultimately is a character that's supposed to be on lunchboxes, trapper keepers, thermoses, underoos, action figures, next to Star Wars toys. And so he was just like, oh, so Superman's got to be like SpongeBob. I said, no, there's children, from infants to 18 years old. I said, it's the best. Superman works best when you remember. I didn't say cater. I said when you remember that it's a children's IP, but you make the movie for all ages.
Yeah, I think part of why we're seeing a shift too, not just in comic books and comic movies, but in the culture. There's an aging demographic, like millennials. I think 10 years ago wanted to see like an edgier superhero that was a little more grown up. But it's kind of like breweries now. Like Gen Z doesn't go to breweries, and if you ever go, like I go to a lot because I live in Colorado around the Fort Collins area. There are basically none that don't have like that are successful that don't have a lot of millennials and Gen X because Gen Z doesn't go out, and the ones that are successful have a place for kids to play because we have kids now. And to that, like studios are probably recognizing that they've got to make family friendly material because people who have kids just don't want to see grown up Batman killing people left and right. You know, they don't want to see a very serious Superman who's morally ambiguous and gonna let his dad get killed in a tornado. You know.
Yeah, Batman has always skated very to the left. That's why Robin was introduced. Yes. Oh, Cavalier and Clay. Oh my God, that's a great book. Oh my God, that I was dating my wife when I was reading that book, and I bought her a copy and sent it to her. And I just remember she came to visit me for the second time, and we just sat in my bedroom. This is how we date, me and my wife. We sat in my bedroom finishing the novel, and I'd look up and she was in tears. You know, we finished at the same time. I love that book. I highly recommend anybody who's a comic book fan read Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. It is so good, so good. But my evidence that Batman works best when it's all ages. Like Batman's a little scarier than Superman. Yes, Batman should be a little darker than Batman. But remember, kids can handle dark. We forget Superman. Star Wars was dark. A guy got his arm cut off in a bar. You know, Uncle Ben and Aunt Owen got burnt up to death, and we saw smoking corpses in a kids movie. You know, kids can handle it. Gremlins was a kids movie. That movie will scare the crap out of any child today.
Oh yeah, any 80s kids movie. Like I watched Ghostbusters and a ghost, like, you know.
Right. Yeah,
took a pants off a guy.
Right. I'm trying to.
What else did we see? We saw a guy's heart get ripped out in Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones movies are perfect example. Thank
Nazi
you. I
faces
forgot about
in
that.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the guy ripped his heart out. Indiana Jones flat out murders people in a whole bunch of the first movie. Clash of the Titans was a PG kids movie, and there was boobies in that movie. And horror and monsters. You know, that was excellent. But
my older brother used to watch Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't a kid's movie. The first Conan movie. The second one.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was because my older brother watched it, but then I watched it when I was a kid. And
yeah, my brother took me to see it as a kid, but yeah. I don't know if that was. But Conan to me, I don't know. Maybe it is an all ages product. I never really read I read one Conan story, and I didn't particularly like. But what I'm saying about Batman is just the example that I give is you go into the Batcave, there's a giant penny and a giant dinosaur. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but even in the Dark Knight Returns, wasn't there like a penny and a dinosaur in the Batcave, or am I misremembering? But like that's like the childlike whimsy of Batman that still transcends. You like this new Batman movie was my favorite. I know that's horrible to say that the Twilight the Vampire guy, because it was a detective story, but that was not made for kids. That was like a serial killer movie. You know?
Yeah, that was kind of like Seven, but with Batman.
Yeah. So like I'm hoping that the next Batman movie that ties into the Superman movie, like we get a Batman that's determined, that's focused, he's violent, but he'll turn around and he'll smile. Like he'll say something to Robin and he'll be like, yeah, like smile, like, you know, and then we'll see the giant penny, we'll see the big dinosaur, you know what I mean?
You froze. Am I frozen? Am I the only one that's not frozen? I don't know.
Hello?
Oh, hello there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, Miller's had a traditional Batman. I still love the Batman, but Brave and the Bold will always be a more comic book. It's also based off the Morrison run with Damian, already established Bat family. John returns. Okay, so I froze up for. What was the last thing I said, ladies and gentlemen? But I was saying, like,
Penny and Dinosaur.
Right. This Superman movie, I'm going to see Fantastic Four Sunday, so I'll be talking about that. This Superman movie, it didn't insult anybody's intelligence. It just started already in the middle of an action, you know, and everybody was caught up. I have a lot of criticisms. It's not perfect, but like what I liked about it is it just embraced the source material. Like they introduced Metamorpho, the Element Man, and they don't like look at the camera and like make fun of him. You know what I mean? Like I thought he was too wimpy. Rex Mason, the Elephant Man. He wouldn't have been in that situation. He was Indiana Jones with superpowers. You know what I mean? So they made him a little bit too wimpy for but anyway, they didn't apologize for how hokey he was. He was turning into smoke and tentacles and everything like that. And people bought it. Mr. Terrific was a goofy character. And they just played him straight and awesome. Guy Gardner, that was Guy Gardner from the comics. Like if you don't like that, then you just don't like Guy Gardner. That was, this was the J.M. DeMatteis, Keith Giffen, Bwahaha Justice League. All you got to do is throw Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, and you have those comics.
I really did like Guy Gardner, and I've said in other chats, like I think most firefighters are more like Guy Gardner. So it is fine. Like I think that's the way I write too. Like I don't write in such the classic way of like the heroes are just good guys. Like the heroes do good things and they're mostly good guys. But
right.
In reality, you get more guys like Guy Gardner than Superman. So
yeah, I think I can't think of the actor's name, but the guy who played Stifler in American Pie, that's Booster Gold. That guy should play Booster Gold. I know he's probably close to 50 now, but he's an actor and he still looks young, Hey, Pops is here. Good, Pops. Me and my wife were just talking about you. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope everything's okay, Pops. Sean William Scott. Yes. Sean William Scott.
Pops did a fun interview with me where I was in character the whole time as Orion.
Oh, that's Glenn Powell would be a good choice too. Okay, that's a good choice too. I wouldn't complain. But it has, he has to be like because we forget Booster Gold was a football player before he became Booster Gold. So he has to be like a man's man kind of guy. Yeah. So there was a comment here. I don't know. We're talking about, I'm still talking about, because a lot of people didn't like it, and I'm not going to fight. It seems Superman was polarizing. Either you loved it or you hated it.
Yeah. Yeah. People would like the dark, serious Snyder version, I think,
I hated it.
Yeah. I didn't like it, care for it too much either.
I liked Batman, but by the end of the third Batman movie, I was just like,
the third Batman movie, the third Nolan film had really bad pacing issues. Hey, Bats. Yeah, really bad pacing issues in The Dark Knight Rises. And I just really ruined the movie for me. I
was kind of like tired of it. I'm like, it's Batman and it's not fun.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. That movie was kind of a drag, honestly.
And the Batman, it wasn't fun either. But at least it was a detective story.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And somebody on Twitter got mad at me. They put like from Michael Keaton to Tim Pattinson. Who's your favorite Batman outfit? And I said, there hasn't been a Batman outfit yet. Batman doesn't wear armor. And he was just like, what do you mean? I'm like, Batman doesn't get shot 16 times in the chest. Batman's not Iron Man. If Batman's getting shot 16 times in the chest, he's a bad Batman. In the comic books, when was the last time you saw Batman getting shot 42 times? Batman's behind you when you're looking for the gun. I don't see him. RJ, where's Batman? Where's Batman? And he turns around. That guy, RJ's already on the floor, knocked out, and now you're getting punched in the face. That's Batman. Yeah. Where am I? The Dark Knight Rises sucked. I liked him.
I think even in the animated series, though, Batman got shot sometimes. That's not a comic book, but still.
Right. Yeah. In the comic, he did get, but like he would get tagged once in a while. Dark Knight Returns, this was an armor plate, which was kind of stroke of genius in a way. But like he wasn't just jumping, like he wasn't this fearless guy who jumps in a crowd of people and just gets shot until they're all out of bullets and then just takes them on. You know what I mean? Like even if you had bulletproof vests, you don't do that because they can only take a few hits before they're, compromised. I can't wait till Batman's public domain and Chuck Dixon. I'd rather Chuck Dixon make up his own character. Like, okay, we'll talk about your comic in a second, but this is a conversation that I'm getting more and more interested in. Are you? I know you're a writer. Are you excited, indifferent, or whatever for like these major properties going public domain?
So I'm fuzzy on the laws. I thought if they kept making more products with these IPs, then that like resets the clock.
No. I'm not a lawyer. I do not even play one on YouTube. But as far as I know, I think there's public domain law is really weird because like Peter Pan has an exception. How the hell do you have an exception for the law? Like murder is illegal,
weird.
but R.J. Williams, you got an exception. Who's that milkman bothering you? Take him out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how can there be an exception to the law? But anyway, that's also a UK thing. But as far as I know, it's what 70 years plus the life of the creator or something like that. So I don't know.
Interesting.
But it goes by like when Batman goes public domain, only the things in the first year. So you don't get Alfred. You know what I mean? You don't even get the symbol. So I wouldn't touch it. You're gonna tell me like all these people making Mickey Mouse stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe they could legally do it, but you don't think Disney with deep pockets is just gonna throw lawyers at you? You don't have the money to.
It's always something really dumb. It's like I don't want to call it anybody's project, but they'll childhood thing, Vampire Slayer. Like it's always something like that. Like it just never catches my interest.
Mickey Mouse Cannibal. Popeye, Popeye the Slaying Man. It's just so unoriginal and it's lazy.
It's overplayed. Like it was funny the first few times, like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Or whatever.
That was kind of funny.
That was interesting.
The first time. Oh,
yeah. Now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, if you want to write a vigilante, street justice vigilante that's in a dark, make up your own. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to get people's interest in a fresh character.
That's the difficult thing, and that's why Marvel gender swaps, because they want more black and gay heroes, but they don't want to take the risk that they're not going to catch on. So they, Spider-Man, but he's black. Okay, so now he has all the gravitas of Spider-Man, and if you don't like him, you're a racist.
Right. Which is part of why they're losing young readers. Like they're very risk averse and they don't want to try something new that might not work. And,
well, if I could give a shout out to Pops has a secret art project. I know what it is. I'm sworn to secrecy. I'm not a snitch, but I'm not an artist. I mean, I am an artist if you consider, but nobody would pay for this kind of art. Okay, nobody would pay for that. So if you're an artist and you want to do a secret art project with Pops, contact Pops and he'll talk to you about it. I'm not necessarily looking forward to people using public domain characters, but I'm looking forward to current copyright holders not messing with them anymore. All right, I could see that. I mean, is DC messing with it when DC is the owner? Like, maybe you disagree with Marvel doing Spider-Man, but like it or not, they own Spider-Man. So, and I don't know. Like they could do whatever they want. A repurposed public domain from a silent film to a cultural defender of Paris going. Okay. What is that? What's the name of that character? Nine Realms. Judex. Like if I don't know. Like I like the Shadow, but I don't know if I would want to put the Shadow in my stuff. Plus I have a Shadow analog. I have a guy that does there, he's my Shadow, but he's mine. So I'd rather play with my toys than someone else's toys.
That's how I feel. I'd rather play in my own sandbox, is the way I put it. It's
a good idea, Pop. I'm being tight-lipped because I accidentally give out spoilers all the time, Pop. So the more you remind me about it, the more I might slip. So Pop swore me to secrecy, and I don't want to accidentally break a promise. And speaking of which, you have a comic that's all yours. It's not a public domain.
That's right.
Is it Orion Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, Starship Troopers with vampires. Rico's Roughnecks Vampire Hunters.
No. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Warhammer Vampire Slayer.
I mean, Warhammer. I would believe vampires could exist in Warhammer. That's not that far fetched.
I could see in Warhammer the vampires would have armor and just be like well-trained organizing human that also they impale you, drink your blood. That would be terrifying. A whole army of vampires. I have a story idea that I just don't know how to do it, but like it's funny because we'll talk about your comic in a second. I just asked you about it. Now I'm already changing the subject. But too much coffee. Oh, what's his name? The guy who does the Dresden File, Jim Butcher. Somebody asked him to. Well, he was in a writing class, and they said bring up two things that are done to death. So somebody said the Lost Legion, and I forget what the other one was. And he put them together, and he made up his whatever it is, winless something. So I was thinking a Lost Legion. So somebody's gonna steal this, but I don't care. Well, I was thinking of that Lost Roman Legion, but what if they were just sleeping and they wake up and it's a Roman legion of vampires, and the superheroes gotta fight like a lost. The Roman legion comes back and they're vampires and they're pissed.
Wasn't that done like Wolfenstein, where they're like Nazi vampires?
Yeah, and then I was thinking like World War II, like they're fighting German soldiers across the no man's land. And they're shooting at them, and they're still advancing. They're throwing the mustard gas, and then they realize they take off their gas mask, and it's vampires. That would be terrifying. But as you can, I want to work in vampires.
My friend had a fun idea for a game.
What, like a video game or a role-playing game?
A video game, like The Sims. So imagine The Sims, and you sell the game, advertising it like The Sims, but then unexpectedly one day you see like a zombie walking through town, and then you just keep playing the game like The Sims. Then there's another zombie, and there's another zombie. All of a sudden, there's a zombie apocalypse, and now you're playing The Walking Dead. But
oh my god, that is awesome! Like you have to do it like why would people buy if you're selling it as The Sims? Like, what do you just do? It's cheaper. Like, why would people buy your? Like, it would be The Sims, right. But in order to get people to buy it, like nudity, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, like The Sims was something extra,
right?
And then so all of a sudden, it's Walking Dead.
It's like, The Sims. What was it? Afterlife was that game that all the perverts were like flirt. I used to go to my comic book store, and the owner of the comic book store was always like playing some like nudie Sims type game, and he was just like, "Oh, I got like 4 girlfriends." I'm like, "No, you don't. You're sitting here playing a video game. Like, you don't know if that's a guy." But that is a great idea. Like, you're playing The Sims, and like, wouldn't it be funny if The Sims people just did that? Like 1 month, or an alien invasion and people getting abducted, or the Rapture in Sims.
That would be great. That would be great.
I love the Shadow. Would love to write him, have a Shadow story for years, but generally I agree. Yeah, this is going to be controversial, and I know somebody's going to get mad at me, but like, it's not that hard to make up your own character. It's not that hard. I come up with a name, and then everything falls from the name. But I could see if you want to have a Shadow stand-in, that's a little bit more difficult. And then you want to build from a cool name and everything like that. But don't wait for Batman to go public domain. Make your own street level vigilante, because then you could do whatever you want with them. Because if you do Batman, even the 1930s purple glove Batman, people are going to have expectations. And if you know what I mean, and if you don't do what they think you should do with Batman, there's going to be problems. So, I Lie Popeye is interesting. I don't know what that is. Lord Legion, I'm missing both adaptations of Legio 9. I don't know what that is. Is that cool? Send me a link to that. That sounds interesting. Red Snow Zombies Wake Up in the Alps. Oh, okay. I have a friend selling. Ooh, hit me up if you like spending money. Yeah, it's CGC. I will never buy a CGC comic though. I have a dream that like a lot of old timers are gonna die. Not that I'm cheering that on, but it's just a fact of life. And they're kids who are not into comics are just gonna start. So I think like any day now we're gonna get a flood of Fantastic Four #1s, Amazing Fantasy that aren't CGC'd. It's not dubbed, so you have to read the captions. All right, guys, gotta roll out. See ya. Oh, I got a super chat. Andrew Rowland. Who are you? Beards of the new Superman glasses trope. Yeah, you can see the scroll on the bottom. It's growing back. My wife is pissed. I didn't even tell her. Driving home, I just went to the barber, shaved everything off. The barber was like, "Are you sure?" Because I've been going to him for years. I keep telling him I want the beard down to my waist, And he was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, look at this." He's like, "Yeah, okay." I think it messed up because he did it with a straight razor because he didn't want to mess up his what are they called? The clippers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That guitar and that would have ruined his. So yeah. I told him firsthand, I don't want you to do it. So he did. He shaved it all off with a straight razor, and oh my god, my face was on fire.
Been a long time since you got shaved.
Yeah, I almost a year ago exactly, because July 17th is
Oh
when
yeah,
I got
that's
to the
right.
accident.
That's
So I
right.
shaved on the 18th, but I did that at home.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we were talking about call sign Orion, and then like an idiot, I got distracted because I'm like a kid,
Yeah, whatever.
Jiggle
So
King, like what?
to that, this is going to end up being a Fund My Comic ad. So you want to share
Oh
the
yeah, we were
screen?
talking about this before. We were 6 or 7 minutes late because of this.
Yeah.
So you want me to share?
Yeah. Go ahead and share the screen. I want to show everybody.
Okay.
So, this is Kickstarter, and they're excellent customer service. So they told me it was ready to go. So let me go back and
So your project has an error. Scroll down.
yeah, everything's approved. You see all
Look at
those
that.
green check marks.
This is what you see when you create a thing. Scroll back up so we can see all those checklists.
Yeah.
So you see this? This is everything you got to double check before you go live, which is a nice little checklist.
Yep, it's nice that they have this, and it says it's all good to go. It's telling me
Right.
there's an error. Don't know why. I'll refresh and see if anything different happens. So it's telling me I'm ready to launch, right? You're ready to launch.
So here we go. Yeah.
Same stuff. Checklist is all good to go. Good. So ready to launch. Let's go ahead. Boom. Got to read all the stuff I've read. Launch project. There's nothing else I got to do above here. Just little tips. Launch. It should be going. Should be going any second. Drops me down the page. And there's an error. Yeah.
And there's no response when you ask.
No, it gives me a bot, and it's like, well, you could ask a different question. I'm like, I just want to know where my page went launch.
And is there a phone number?
There is. I probably sit on hold for a while. I didn't have time to do that before going live.
So here you go. This is the best advertisement for Fund My Comic. Because for Heroic Tales #1, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, like I flatter myself that there's any ladies watching this besides my wife, but ladies and gentlemen, I messed up every possible step of the way on Fund My Comic. And Luke Stone on the phone with me going, John, it's not that bad. We'll fix it. With this cool, calm voice.
His NPR voice.
Yeah, NPR voice. Yeah, John. And I'm yelling and screaming. I'm cursing. I'm telling him he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm a raving lunatic. Believe me, guys. I'm like calm, cool guy. But when I get faced with the problem, I turn into a raving lunatic,
Yeah.
And a couple of days later, I realize I'm wrong and I say I'm sorry, But okay, we fixed it, John. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Luke. And then I realized I'm not getting the money because I set up the Stripe account wrong. Oh my God. Don't worry, John. We'll fix it. We call up. I'm yelling at the Stripe people. The Stripe people are going to ban me forever. Luke gets on, talks to John, just be quiet. And then we'll 3 hours. He's talking to the Stripe people. We figure out that I'm the idiot who did something wrong, and we fix it up. You can't get that on you can't get that on Kickstarter. Forget about Indiegogo. I'm excited for GameFound because I met the guys at GameFound. I played games with them at Dice Tower Con in Florida. They seem like nice. If it's the same people, this was pre-COVID. I don't know who's gone, but they seem like nice, nerdy, fun people who love board games. We talked about comic books, so I'm excited. Maybe Indiegogo will be a place to be in the future. But right now, Fund My Comic. It's got the best customer service,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That guy happens to be my artist too. So
Yeah. I saw the art that he did for your comic. Do you want to bring up your Fund My Comic page so people can at least see it?
Yeah. I got it. Well, I was actually looking for Dime Store Detective. So let me pull up my here. Let me just X out of these things. Yeah, you got that one off. So let me pull up my.
I'll bring this up while you're looking.
Cool.
But I'm live on Kickstarter. I got 13 backers already, and I haven't even really announced it because, like Kickstarter, I'm not going to say bad things about Kickstarter. That's undeserved. But Kickstarter does have like a fan base. So I didn't even announce that I was live. I just put out a couple of links, and already I'm getting backers. So sooner or later, I'm going to announce. I'm going to see if anybody wants me to be on their channel so I can promote Kickstarter. I did pretty well, but
I basically handled my Kickstarter the same way. I have 7 people signed up for the pre-launch for Call Sign Orion on Kickstarter, and I haven't like done a thing to promote that really. I just put it out there because, like you said, it's got its own audience. You know, I'm really more into Fund My Comic. That's my preferred platform. Just expanding to reach more people is all. Because I really do think this art sells itself. And I mean, look at my creative team; it just sells itself.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I got this trailer. Since we're on the page, I might as well just show you this new trailer.
Okay.
Got new music by the band Corpus Christi. And are you seeing? I scrolled down and it's not showing up over there. That's really bizarre because it says I'm sharing this page.
Yeah, and you're controlling it, not me. So there's nothing I can do about it.
If I scroll down more, do you see that?
Nope.
What the heck? There's some kind of lag on StreamYard then.
Oh, hit refresh.
Okay.
Hit refresh on the Fund My Comic link. See what happens. Hey Jay, how you doing?
Are you seeing me scroll right now?
Nope.
What?
So I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna.
That's crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna show off the trailer when we get this to work. And
see if it works now.
Working?
Nope.
What? I don't know what's going on StreamYard. All right, so we're having technical issues.
Close it out and
yeah, let me try this again.
Relaunch it. So we'll talk about it.
But yeah, the art sells itself. And
I'm gonna show this. Even though I'm helping myself, I'm gonna help you too because this is the same artist.
Yeah.
This is Luke Stone. When I saw Luke Stone's artwork on Call Sign Orion, I said, "This is a guy who's getting more and more like John Byrne." Now, this I wouldn't say is John Byrne, but I'm so happy. This is Luke Stone's artwork. This is Oscar Carano's coloring. This is going to be the first page for a story that he's drawing for me called The Sleeper Agent. And it's unique. It's I really like it. And this kind of art is what you're getting on Call Sign Orion. So I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I mean that is high quality art.
Yeah, Luke has leveled up. So this is the guy who does Fund My Comic. He's a pastor. He plays guitar, and the guy could draw. I guess if we were SJWs, we would have to hate him because he's talented. That's
yeah. That's how I feel about Michael Bancroft. Like I did a review on the Lucent, and I just like pretended to hate on it because it's so good. But yeah, all right. So it's working now. I'm like halfway down the page here, or a quarter maybe.
Something happened.
So yeah, this art sells itself. I'm just gonna show off the trailer here.
Here you go.
The music's by this band, Corpus Christi. You're gonna love it. Let me just play it here.
Cool. That guy with the beard is based on me. RJ doesn't want you to know that, but he told me, "John, can I use your cool likeness and tough guy demeanor as a character?" I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Again, how many times am I going to be in other people's comic books as a cool tough guy character with a beard?" And then I shaved my beard just to mess with your comic.
Yeah, I like how it's on my YouTube channel. It just refers me to the review of your book there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I'm kind of beefing up the campaign page now with character bios. So yeah, this is the guy with the beard. I did it. I wrote these as like in-world government dossiers. So this is Carlos the Viper Ramirez.
Actually, he looks more like Luke Stone than me.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Luke snuck himself into your book. There you go.
People say, I think people just look for self-inserts.
It's funny.
You know?
People keep saying, "Oh, the patriarch is John's self-insert." Dude, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish that was my self-insert.
Right. Yeah, this is my self-insert up here. It's just a blonde guy who's like just a body stacking like operator.
I'm just going to show
me right
something
there.
for a second. This is my self-insert, Augie Carmichael. You'll meet him in the Sleeper Agent. So this is my, if I grew a mustache right now, that's my self-insert, not the patriarch. I wish I was the patriarch.
Right. So if you back it now, you get the redhead's number. I'm just kidding.
Yep, there you go.
No, but there is. So yeah, that's Lisa Foyles. This is a proof. So there's a signed card by her. This is her character.
And she's
Lena
the propaganda agent, right?
She's the propaganda. Yeah, voice of the propaganda machine. So this is Lisa's side. She signs these on the cards that I'm sending out.
She does something horrible. She wears like blue jeans and tells people that she has good genes, right?
Yeah. Horrible. And then, she hires a guy to say it's a golden summer or something like that. You see that newest one?
No.
Oh, it's funny, man. The things that people get mad at too.
It's funny. I had a dream last night that's Sydney, what's her name? Sydney Sweeney was on my channel. It shows you how much these advertisements are like getting into our subconscious.
Right. It just sounds like an 80s movie. Like I brought you video games and chocolate cake.
Yeah, this does look good. Marcus says this looks good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Really, really leveling up.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I
fun.
was first aware of Luke's art in Chrome Dog, and I liked it. I thought, but then I saw this artwork, and I'm like, oh my god! And not to take anything away, but that Augie Carmichael and that first page, that's the newest stuff. Unless he drew new stuff for you. If Luke drew anything new for you, show that, because it's at the trajectory he's improving. It's going to be awesome. Like,
yeah, so these are older pages. He's working on newer stuff right now. But I think this is the one, this page here. I can't even see all of it. I should pull up. Let me try and share a file here. Well, you could see some of that page. I especially like that bottom left panel. And I think you're the one who said it looks like John Byrne, sort of.
Yeah. If John Byrne had modern coloring, yeah. If you did, I forget what they call the old hand painted coloring. It's not flat. I learned that the hard way. I asked for flat coloring, and then I was like, "What is this garbage?" It's like, you asked for flat coloring. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then I obviously talk about.
Patrick Gamma is a great colorist. I like how he communicates environments through the colors. So like people say it's got a pastel kind of look, which you could sort of see. There's a space bout on Nebula here, but that's the colors and the light being diffused to the gases of the nebula. But as you get more interior, you get more like, fluorescent, sharper, harsher interior lighting, except for this page, because it's this, they're sort of backlit and light's being diffused to that shield they just put up. But then here, this is where most of the action takes place, inside the ship. So that pastel really just communicates the outer environment of the ship. But then you got this interior color, which is totally different. Yeah.
Star Trek, when they hid inside the nebula, there was all scroll back up to that laser rifle, that futuristic rifle.
This guy?
Yeah, right there. Did you give schematics or anything, or did Luke just draw that?
I gave the best schematics I can give. So that was kind of inspired. The helmets and the putting together the rifle, that was kind of inspired by the Lost in Space movie from the 90s. I don't know if you remember that, where like the helmet folds over.
With Joey from Friends.
Yeah, he puts together the gun from the suitcase. I thought that would be a cool thing to have. So like these suits, like they're not like Iron Man suits. They come into physical contact with the brain chip that they have, and then they're able to control the suits like an appendage of their body, and it's armor, it's holster, its propulsion system. And so it holds their guns, and then they could put the helmets come off what they just think about. They don't have to actually touch the helmet. And then they could combine the pistols into a rifle and have more power and range that way.
Oh, like original, the Phase 1 rifle. You could put it into the Phase 2. I mean, phaser from Star Trek. You could take that little. I always used to say the barber shaver, and then you could. Oh, what am I doing? I might as well just like in Star Trek. You had,
I don't see. I'm not enough of a Trekkie to even know this.
This is the Phase 1 phaser.
Okay.
Kirk had it, but you could insert it into that, and then you could insert.
Now it's like a real gun. Okay.
Into a rifle.
Okay.
In the original. Into the original Star Trek.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Star Trek ended at last episode of Enterprise. That was the end of Star Trek. Nothing else Star Trek exists after that. To let people know. Just like in Star Wars, they're just hanging out on the Ewok planet, waving. C-3PO being worshipped as a god. That was the end of Star Wars.
That's the end. Yeah, I agree. Star Trek, though, I can't get behind the Federation being the good guys. They seem like bad guys to me.
See, in the original Star Trek, they were the good guys. Like, there was problems. You had individuals that were crazy, but they were the good guys, and I like that. I like this vision of the future that was hopeful, and then like the movies. They became the bad guys. It's like I don't want that. The older I get, I want the future to be good. Like shouldn't and like the progressives took over Star Trek, and they still made it bad. Like, so you tell me this is what we're progressing to? It's like you're not selling your philosophy. Like, and then another little pet peeve of mine: Star Trek is not communism. Okay. Communism and capitalism are economics that deal with scarcity. We have scarcity because we don't have infinite resources, and capitalism is you got to pay more. Communism is everybody gets whatever, an equal amount, which means everybody starves to death. But Star Trek is a post-scarcity environment because they have magic technology that replicates whatever they need. So there is no communism, there is no capitalism in Star Trek because you have a replicator in your house and it provides whatever you need. So shut up, progressive. Star Trek is not communism. How's that? Interesting.
What would that do? That raises all kinds of questions. What would that do?
It basically means like nobody gets salaries on the. You join Starfleet because you want to be in Starfleet. If you don't want to be in Starfleet, they don't need you. You're down on the earth painting because that's what you want to do. Because nobody's going to starve to death. You have a machine in your house that provides infinite power and infinite food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you also have a machine like it scans you and beams information to a doctor, and a doctor could send a hologram over to fix you. You know what I mean? So you just, that's not communism.
That's interesting because I'm more inclined to think like Robert Heinlein. I think the author, the real author of Starship Troopers, not Paul Verhoeven, who's an idiot. But I think all the people who aren't like weird hippies would want to be in Starfleet.
Right?
Earth would be boring.
To be honest, I think maybe if you're a capitalist, why wouldn't you want to be in in the future that's Star Trek? Because then you can have everything you want. Like, unless you desire control over other people, which I think that's
Sorry, popped in the chat.
Hey, Mike Bancroft's here. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Good to see you, Mike. Michael Bancroft, for those of you who may not know, is the Lucent, a wonderful comic about dreams. It's another topic that I'm absolutely fascinated about. That is, dreams. I think everybody who writes, does comics, art, somehow is into dreams. It just,
I did a review on the Lucent series. I had fun reviewing that one, and Bancroft was kind enough to let me launch the Fund My Comic on his channel.
Yep.
And Lisa was there. That was a lot of fun to do. And we're up to 24 backers now. By the way, we are over 25% of our way to the first stretch goal which is. I'm too
Oh
far
yeah,
down the
we
page.
here talk. I'm off on in the weeds talking about
Oh
nonsense.
no, I like talking about sci-fi nerd stuff, like, and you can talk about it like fluently, so this is fun.
Yeah, I
But
want to say Michael Bancroft is one of the best people in the independent comic sphere. He launched both of my campaigns. Both of my campaigns were successful on his. He's just an all around good guy. It's not his fault. He's from Australia, the land of real life monsters. They
dude,
just showed like a new spider from Australia, and I'm like, Mike,
oh
I
my
gotta guess
lord, it's
you and your family
horrifying.
you could come to New York. Yeah, we kind of have
Do you
monsters,
need
but
a sponsor, Michael?
but like Michael, there's just monsters in.
Just come to Colorado where you could get eaten by a bear.
Come to New York. We're this close away from getting eaten by other humans. But Michael Bancroft, he lives in a place where, you go outside, everything wants to kill you. It just shows you that, I don't know, you got to be tough to live in Australia. That new spider is nuts. So he knows what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the armor-piercing round spider that could bite.
Is that what it's called? They didn't even give it a nice name.
No, but it can bite through a boot.
Right.
And, like,
they might as well
repeatedly.
just call it the monster spider.
It is a monster.
Yeah. That's the armor-piercing something spider. They're
No,
not even playing anymore. They
I don't think that's what they call it.
Out of Australia spider.
Yeah,
Leave Australia.
Move out of Australia. The eviction spider.
Yeah. Go back where you came from, spider.
But yeah, stretch goal number 1. We are more than 25% of the way to stretch goal number 1. Help us get to 2K so we can release the alpha patch. This one was by popular demand. A couple people asked if there would be a patch for the alphas of the unit, because
like,
they
like
are
a patch that you could sew or iron onto a shirt or something.
Yep.
A good idea.
Yep. Yeah. So a couple people asked if there would be one, since this book follows a unit that's both a fighter squadron, and like kind of like a Navy SEAL unit. So they're kind of both, because it's the future. So they're the alphas. They're special operators that do most of their fighting in these ships, the F-26 Aerostar. So that's their patch that they wear when they're not all armored up.
I love the ship design. It's
it's a lot of fun. I made this one myself, 3D printed, painted this guy on my own. I didn't 3D print it myself, but I painted it. F-26 Aerostar. It's kind of like inspired by a stealth fire design. This one's less damage. These are extremely difficult to ship, so that's why they're not up there.
Yeah, it's resin. Resin is extremely breakable. Yeah.
Yeah, these wings are pretty fragile. They get dinged up.
If I may make a suggestion, you for like $5, something like that, send them the file. Or $3.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
That's what I did. I got this Patriarch. Well, I'm going to show it, and I don't even have my picture up. But I got a Patriarch, but shipping this, it's going to break. So if anybody
that'd
wants
be a good add-on. I do have the add-on. It's the same. It's the Alpha Patch Magnet. So this is an add-on. It's included in some tiers, but maybe I could do that with the file as well. That would be cool.
Yeah, because I'd hate to ship them out because they're gonna break. But a couple of people. I know Eric the Guapo. I sent him the file. See if he could print it out. I have nightmares being chased by crocodiles, and I live in New Jersey.
So tell you what, chat. Anyone who's watching right now, if you back, I'll send you a free file.
There you go.
F-26 Aerostar.
A free file of Lisa's phone number. There you go.
Yeah. But
in Mexico, we have monsters. If you know what I mean, they're super monsters. I was born in Mexico, to be honest. I was born in the United States. So we have a reverse. Born in the United States and then went to Mexico. Chupacabras. There you go.
Yeah, the Chupacabra. Yeah. So this it's kind of a stealth fire design, the triangular shape of it, but it's also like inspired by like the R-wing from Star Fox.
And my favorite spaceship is the Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
Oh, Star Destroyer also triangular.
So I love that triangular design. So that's right up my alley.
It's also inspired by like the R-wing from Star Fox, and you could see the color scheme, but also the Viper from Battlestar Galactica. Kind of fast moving ship. You
know what it looks like? Do you remember Mark from Battle of the Planets? He had like a little sonic boomerang that he threw. And it would go around the people and scream and break their eardrums, and he would catch it. And then the wings would fold in, and he would put it in his belt, or maybe it was his belt buckle.
I do like that kind of, anime, like very sleek style of like futuristic stuff. So
when I was a kid, I drew comics as a kid. At one point I thought I was good enough to be like I was one. I went to a private Catholic school and there was 36 kids a class. So so out of 36 kids, I was one of the 3 best artists. It shows small pool, big fish, small pool kind of thing. So everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna draw comics." And I drew this like Starfleet ripoff. Like the guys, they basically had like Fantastic Four uniforms, and I had this like roundest ship that I always used to draw, and that was. So I would like to draw that one day, like put it in one of my comics, have somebody good like Renzo or Oscar actually draw this childhood design. It would be. Is this a childhood design for you? This ship?
No, it's just, something I thought would be cool for a long time. I've been building this universe for like about 10 years, and it's hard as the writer to know like what's a spoiler and what isn't. But I had a few people say like you should do like character bios. So I've been putting some like these kind of like in-universe government dossiers up on my YouTube channel, and then putting all the same information up on the page.
That is cool.
So you got Orion there. His backstory is all up there. Diana, she's the love interest. There's her story. There's the bad guy, Carlos the Viper. And then you've got some of the team. This is Sirius. He's an alien on the team. And then I'm going to add some more characters later. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else can I tell you as like someone who doesn't know about the campaign? Because I think that's the biggest challenge. As like
I made trading cards, and I got a little bit of blowback on this. I'm going to make this big for a second, because on the back, I put their role-playing character sheet. So like the conceit is this comic came out at the same time as this role-playing game, Villain. So it even says Villains and Vigilantes. So I need to make this clearer to complete people. Like, I don't understand this layout. And the guy who designed it kind of got a little bit of crap, but he did exactly what I asked him to do. So don't bust his chops, bust my chops. But this is the character sheet for Villains and Vigilantes, a role-playing game. So the conceit is you get this card and you have their literal character sheet. Like if you ever played Dungeons & Dragons back in the day when they had a formatted character sheet, this was the formatted character sheet for Villains and Vigilantes. He did exactly what it looked like back in the 80s. So, it has a little bit of backstory. So I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool to do. I don't know. Maybe a game would be fun, because I have been enjoying like doing world building and like talking about like random stuff, like Carlos's background. There's like a battle I mentioned in his background, and like the native species that like Sirius is genetically engineered from. Like that's all stuff that's going to be like part of the universe as it grows and the stories expand. That's where it's hard as like the writer who knows all the details to like, what do I tell people? What's not a spoiler? Like, I don't know. As an outsider, what would you like to know?
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I'm almost done reading this. I'm a very slow reader. This is A Damn Dirty Thing by Doc Blaylock. I was just talking about this. I would like to ask him questions about his world. And I'm curious, like as a reader, is he the only wizard? Like, do people know about magic? Like, to me, these are questions that need to be explained. You know what I mean? Like does he have a spell book? Does he have like the Dresden Files, which I can't help but compare this book to? Like questions are all answered in the first book, but then they just lead to more questions, which is ultimate to me world build. So like I want, like, I'm so interested in this world that there's a bunch of questions that I asked, and I don't know what Doc could tell me without spoiling. And I'm doing the same thing with my comic, although I'm terrible. I get excited and I spoil it. But like, there's a couple of people that know how dark my world is going to get. Like I know I'm saying like it's blue sky, it's superhero stuff like that, but like there's a corrupt government, there's a corrupt business, there's a fake church that's set up, and then there's this secret society that's doing awful things. Like, but at the same time, it's blue sky, good guy superheroes. Like I get the feeling that like by issue 6, people are gonna be like, John, you promised like happy. Even the patriarch itself is tired of living a lie. You're gonna see that in issue. So I know what you're saying. There's so much I want to tell people, and then are people going to get upset when they realize it's a lot more darker than I'm I'm setting it up to be all happy and good, but that's boring also, you know.
Yeah. So that's one you mentioned, I think, on a different stream, like using powers in that world causes madness
Yes,
over
yes,
time. So won't I mean the patriarch uses powers pretty frequently, wouldn't isn't he pushing the boundaries?
yes, he is. Every time, like I hinted at it in the first issue, when their eyes are glowing, that's kind of like the warning light is going on. They're
Mm.
you know, the, you'll see in the Mary Sue story hints of powers. It's all powers are mental powers, except for a few. You know, all powers are mental powers, except for the ones that aren't. I'm being vague on purpose. But humans are not supposed to have powers. Uh, and you're channeling extra dimensional abilities that literally energy is coming through your brain, coming through your mind, and it's leaving scars, and it's hurting your brain. It's causing brain damage the more you use. But the patriarch, his saving grace is that he has a loving family. He's grounded. Like when he comes home and farms, he doesn't use, like, yeah, he got that elk because he kind of forgot. It was, you know, he his son knows that he used his powers to get it, but like it's kind of him and his son. But like when it's time to gather the eggs, to milk the cows, stuff like that, like he has to be a normal guy because his kids are like, we don't have powers, you don't have powers. And there's, you know, the little kids, they get to tell dad, you know what I mean? Like a little kid loves, dad, you're breaking the rules, you can't do that. So that keeps him grounded. And most superheroes in my world don't last 20 years because the brain damage causes scars, and sooner or later, there's a guy who pretends that he's the king of Atlantis, but after 12 years of pretending to be the king of Atlantis, he actually believes he's the king of Atlantis, and you can't argue with him. And then because of these powers, he believes it so well. All superpowers are mental powers. He could literally start rewriting reality. So you're going to see that there's things that shouldn't exist because these superheroes believe. And then again, there's an actual group that monitor they're like shadow people. Like they don't tell anybody we
exist. The Men in Black for superheroes, keeping them in check.
And they'll all of a sudden the superhero will just disappear because they're starting to rewrite reality. And there's an alien civilization that was almost destroyed because of the same thing. So they are monitoring the universe, and like this guy could, like Jean Grey. To me, that it all came from Jean Grey, Phoenix. She went metapsychotic. That's what we call it in my world. You go metapsychotic, and you believe with all your heart that you're the king of Atlantis. So reality starts to conform to your delusions because humans can't fly, humans can't shoot fire, humans can't shoot laser beams. So your mental power starts rewriting reality to fit your delusions. You're metapsychotic now. And what if you believe that you're the destroyer of worlds? What if you believe that you can only exist by destroying suns like Phoenix? So this alien civilization is just like, we have like worlds that were destroyed by these metapsychotic aliens. You know what I mean? Like, so they go around and nuke from orbit. They'll take out a whole planet because it's a threat to galactic civilization. So now you know why there's meteors being thrown at the Earth. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not the spiders from Verhoeven's Starship Troopers, the arachnids.
You know what I mean? But there's already an intergalactic war trying to take out the Earth. So there's already metahumans in space that the humans don't even know. I'm giving away way too much.
Yeah, see, that's why it's hard. Like I could give away a lot, you know. I like doing these character bios that are on my page. It's difficult to not give too much away.
Right. You want to, you know what I mean? And now my first draft of Heroic, you might appreciate this, was just world building the comic. And I told everything. I told galactic politics, and I told how many superheroes there were, what this guy was. And as a result, nobody cared about anybody.
Right. If you just do like the Silmarillion on the first book, like no one's gonna care because there's no Frodo or there's no Bilbo.
Right. You know? So yeah, like that's what Tolkien did. He wrote the Silmarillion and then made The Hobbit so that people would care about the similar. So not that I'm comparing myself to Tolkien, but I'm a big Tolkien fan. So I have the ancient history from pre-civilization. I got the future mapped out. I got other planets mapped out. I got other dimensions. I got a map of the multiverse. You know, I got how time travel, but nobody cares unless they like the characters. So Brian Bow, who does Wolf and Batsy, he was just like, "Oh, this is great, but I don't care about any of this. You know, give me one character." So I picked the Patriarch because I thought he was the easiest character to sell.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why I chose Orion and did this particular story, because, you know, following their version of Navy SEALs in a space battle is a good entry point, I think.
Yes, it is. Universe. What, you got a squad of 4 people? We could care about them. I mean, look at the movie Aliens. You know, the follow up to Alien. We loved every one of those characters, and we still, and like, I'm sure there was a wide world of the aliens, and then, you know, Predators are in the same universe, but it didn't matter because we loved the characters so much. You know, yeah, I think the advice that I got was the right advice.
Yeah, you got to start small and a story that gets people engaged, and then build from there. Like I'm writing the sequel right now to Call Sign Orion, and you're gonna definitely learn more about the universe and be introduced to a couple of antagonists that I think are a lot of fun.
And it's funny because I'm being tight-lipped about, but somebody approached me of a team up, and I just was like, oh my God, I got all nervous. You know, like, it doesn't fit in. Like you're like, for your characters to interact, and that person already has like Greek gods in his comic. So, but I have a specific. So how could they exist? So like, it has to be like something happens that like they cross over into other universes, kind of thing. So I'm trying to write a story in 12 pages where they cross over to my world, and then everybody has to be a hero. Like the original story was their character just fumbles and my character saved them. And like, I don't want that. I don't want my character. You know, I was like, yeah, you're right. So I'm rewriting it so like everybody gets a moment in the sun, and that in only 12 pages. That is really, really tough. I'm telling you, man, this is the hardest thing I've ever done, you know, so far.
Yeah, team ups and crossovers can be challenging. Like even with this Batman Superman, you know, the James Gunn, people have speculated, like, is James Gunn's Superman gonna exist in the same universe as the Batman, who's like a detective, like a David Fincher kind of detective?
It shouldn't.
You really can't, because like now that I've seen both, like you can't in the same universe where Penguin's just a mobster, you know. You can't have metahumans being around for centuries in that universe.
Because that universe also, the Batman is Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, I think, right? I don't want that.
Is that official canon?
I don't know. That's what I heard, but okay. I don't want that. I want more comic book. Like, you know, you can have Batman from you know, the Bwahaha Justice League. That Batman could be meeting that Superman. Why not? You know, like back to Superman. Like that was, oh geez, it's 8:20. We got to stop soon. But that was 90s Justice League, International Justice League, whatever, in a movie, and I thought it was great. There's so many problems. Like, I'm gonna catch hell, but like the Donner Superman movie was a great movie. But there was just so many problems with it that always bothered me, and I was always afraid to say that because, you know, that's like making it the greatest superhero movie.
You'll be anathema.
You know, but like
I wanted to ask you about your controversial opinions. I don't know if we have time now.
But like Superman goes back in time, right?
Yeah.
Because Lois Lane dies, but only Lois Lane. Like, why does she rate time travel and nobody else? Like.
Yeah, if you go back in time, and someone else brought this up, like if you go back in time, then why not, you know, change, you know, why not, you know, avoid the Holocaust or something like that? You know, why? Yeah. Like, they raised too many questions.
And then he goes back and he beats up that guy in the bar, but time travel happened, so that guy never beat up Clark.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the Phantom Zone, like they happened to make it to Earth, that mirror. And it just happened to get really, you know what I mean? Like, does everything from Krypton fly to Earth? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's too many coincidences, and that's why, like to me, the Superman needs to be a little depowered. Although, because if Superman could hear everybody on the planet, he could see everybody on the planet, then for him to go on a date with Lois is selfish.
That
It's
would
like,
really
let that
cause
guy
madness.
die. I'm horny right now. I want to go get some. You know what I mean?
That would really drive you mad. That's one thing I like about James Gunn, like existing in the same world as the Justice Gang. There's like a minor incident, you know, it's like, well, the Justice Gang can handle it.
Like, I
if it
believe
gets out of hand, he jump in, you know.
Like, that's what I like when he was talking to Lois when that monster was in the background.
Yeah,
I totally believe that Superman was listening.
Yeah,
he was hearing. You know, his super senses were on it, and if they needed him to, he would have been there.
Yeah,
but he knew that the Justice, like, it was not a control. Like, you didn't need to write that. Like, I appreciated that they left the audience to interpret. Like, I still don't believe that message was authentic.
Like, no, I don't either. What are the odds that Lex Luthor stumbles across, you know, he breaks in and then he has the engineer hack into the computer and then he didn't tamper with the message just to get in Superman's head? Or,
like,
you know,
somebody put on Twitter today, like, for the sequel movie, that, like, you see Batman saying to Superman, that message was tampered, and what was tampered with it was Brainiac. Mm-hmm. Next movie, you know, it's kind of, you know, maybe a little bit more finesse than that, but you know, like, 17 scientists confirmed it. Like, 17 scientists also said that the COVID shot was safe.
Yeah, I would love to them to, like, kind of weaken out the audience and be like, oh, you like Bruce Wayne shows up, gets the real message, like, oh, what, you trust the experts?
you trust the science? Yeah. How'd that do it? Yeah. Right here. How much time has passed? How many people would never like? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to set up with Mary Sue. Is my character Mary Sue could literally change probabilities. So could she, if she focuses and her eyes glow and she uses her power to stress out, could she stop Hitler from rising? But then what would be the Earth? What would be the outcome of that? Yeah, you don't want to say you need Hitler because, geez, now my channel's demonetized. But, like, you take out baby Hitler, or
you know, seen Back to the Future. You know, Biff Tannen becomes president or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, like, see, she doesn't. And also, the Patriarch has super senses because I modeled him after Superman. But you see that it strains himself and it's limited, and he makes himself vulnerable. So, like, you know, and it's not worldwide. Like, he could basically cover a city, you know. So he's, you know, he can't close his eyes and in Zimbabwe a kid's about to get eaten by or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and then it would take him forever to get there. He can't fly at that speed. So I think it makes it more human to like, I think a big problem is people make superheroes and then they make them so powerful. Like the X-Men, every X-Men right now is the most powerful X-Men. You know, is that your problem with X-Men, or was it something else? I got a lot of problems with X-Men. That's one of my problems. That's going to be its own episode. Its own show. Like, if you make like, people, like Marcus busts my chops because he's like, well, who would win in a fight? The Patriarch or Spider-Man? I'm like, I think Spider-Man would whoop Patriarch's ass, especially once Spider-Man realizes how the Patriarch's powers work. But, you know, to me, it makes him a little bit more interesting. He could be, you know, he could be like, that didn't bother me that Superman was constantly on the ropes in the Superman movie. To me, it made it up the stakes because Lex Luthor, they understood, like they told us, Lex Luthor studied Superman, and then Lex Luthor used all the weaknesses that already existed in the comics. Right. Like, they didn't just pull out, like, they didn't use magic because Lex Luthor doesn't use magic, but like they understood, like they drained him. They threw him in an environment where there was no sun. Like he screamed because I imagine even if you're Superman, it would hurt to reset your bones instantly. You know what I mean? Like, how many trope did you see? Oh, your shoulder's dislocated, and then they distract you while they fix it and you scream. Like, that's what happened to Superman. You know, he was running ragged. He was low energy because that was the plot. We didn't waste 9 months of Lex Luthor weakening, and we understood this. The fight started when the movie started, when Superman was already weak. I kind of like that. I like that talk that that Lois Lane had. Like, she was like, I'm punk rock and you like the crab joys, and he's like, I do like the crab. Like, it understood, like, a lot of people it was admitting he liked Hanson, and she's like, nobody likes Hanson.
He's like, and a lot of people are.
and then he sees the posters in his room. It's like, no, he really does like Hanson. Like, I thought that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not like a bandwagon fan. He actually genuinely likes them.
Yeah. No, the Patriarch is not going to be sad because of Metaside. If anything, people like the Patriarch too much. Like there's groupies and stuff like that because spoiler, people don't know he's married. And
which makes sense. Like he's not doesn't want to share his identity and
he knows his identity is public.
Okay, but he's off the grid.
But they don't know he's married and has a family because he's. Again, I almost gave away too much, but I got to stop now because at 8:30. Although RJ hasn't sent me a link.
Yeah, I did. It's in the.
No. RJ from the Fourth Age.
Oh, that RJ.
Yeah. So we can keep.
I'm RJ number 3.
You're the third RJ. Yes, you are.
RJ the third.
RJ that I've met.
That's all right.
If RJ realizes that it's supposed to be on his channel, so as I'm talking, I see the 3 dots showing up. So yeah, we got to go. Yes, RJ from the Fourth Age, in my view, is RJ number 1. RJ from Critical Blast is 2, and you're RJ number 3. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm the newest.
So for 4 years at work, I was Johnny 4 because there was 4 Johnnies.
Zach Tan, you take that back. I exist. Don't deny my existence. All right, I feel very triggered.
Yeah, don't trigger him. Don't deny his existence. Yeah. All right, but I got to go. RJ just sent me the link.
All right. Good chatting with you.
Come back and back. The Kickstarter is messed up. How is this for commercial for Fund My Comic? Right. So go to the Fund My Comic. Get let's see. Do I have your link?
Yeah, you got it.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to put the link in the chat one last time. And if you do want to go to Kickstarter, you could back my comic, Heroic Tales 2, on Kickstarter. And it's still available in demand on Fund My Comic. Whatever you choose.
Yeah.
We don't.
I'll figure out the Kickstarter page, but for now, go to Fund My Comic. It's better anyway.
Yeah. All right, but I got to go. RJ just sent me the link. All right, so see you guys.
Right.
Go to the Fourth Age if you can't get enough of this naked face. Go to the Fourth Age. RJ, and I will be talking. Who knows? We just like to talk about comics. Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
You got here just in time. We're ending. We're going to the Fourth Age. Go to
Matt
YouTube.
Pulled a me. He shows up in the 11th hour, and we got to close.
Bye, everybody.
Right,
and come back. Come back when you figure out the Kickstarter.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, next week. I don't care. I enjoy talking to you. It's fun.
We'll do that.
All right. See you, everybody.
Right. See you.